Hello and welcome to Supper Sunday with Chef Sharon and
Chef Cassandra.
We are private chefs from Tampa Bay, Florida, and we provide private services in people's homes, and we create menus for our clients to their needs.
So we are co-owners of Cache Fine Foods. As Sharon said, we are based out of Tampa Bay, Florida, but we serve all of Florida. So, want to tell them about you, Sharon?
So for me, I'm self-taught. I've been cooking since I was 9 years old. Cassandra and I have a very similar story about how we came to love food and to do what we do. Probably about 45 or 46, I was working in a corporate world, and I just decided to make a change, and I started this private chef business and have literally fell in love and am doing what I've been blessed to do.
So I am from a blended family. I'm one of 9 children, and so with a large family, there was always lots of holidays and lots of birthdays. So our Sundays were usually spent at my grandparents' after church having supper. So today's dishes were chosen because of our love for family and food. So today we are going to be making Sharon's recipe for
Southern cornbread crab cake.
And then we're going to be doing a combined recipe of shrimp and grits.
Something we both really love.
And then to finish, we are going to make a delicious key lime pie. Bringing all those Florida flavors
together, and hope you enjoy everything.
For today's dessert, we're going to be making key lime pie. We chose this because it is my 2 oldest sons' favorite desserts. They choose this as their dessert for their birthdays instead of a cake. So we'll start with the crust. For the crust, we have a mixture of lemon Oreos and cinnamon graham crackers with a little bit of a light brown sugar, about a tablespoon or so. And then we'll add our melted butter to form a crust.
Okay, let me get that for you. And there you go.
Right. So into our pie pan, we'll add the graham cracker cookie mixture. I do like to do equal parts. So about 2 cups total to 6 to 8 tablespoons of melted butter.
There we go.
I'm going to just mix this in my pie pan and then form the crust. And then this will go into the oven at 350 degrees, which I'm preheating right now.
My glasses are on.
And once I get all the cookie crumbs softened with the butter, I like to use my fingers to press it in. I feel that works best. But the rubber spatula works great as well, or you could even use the back of a measuring cup. That also helps. I like to press it in nice and firm.
Do you want a glass to do the bottom?
No, I like to use my fingers. And I like to come high on my pie pan. I like the crust ratio to be a little bit thicker than just on the bottom. Just about finished. All right. And now this will go into the oven at a 350 degree oven for about 10 minutes or until it's lightly golden brown. And we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. All right, Cassandra, I'm gonna get your pie crust so you can want to get that started.
Okay, great. So we cooked our pie crust in a 350-degree oven for 10 minutes, or until lightly golden brown and set. While I'm doing my filling, the pie crust will cool down and it'll be ready for the filling. So to start, I'm going to start with 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk.
Now, what I wanted to ask you, Cassandra, is when you're doing this pie, one of the reasons I really love it is the creaminess, and you actually add Greek yogurt to your key lime pie. Can you tell us why you do that?
Correct. So I love key lime pie along with my boys, but I wasn't crazy about the consistency of it. Yeah. So, and also I like to be health conscious, so that's why I add
this was the 2 things going in?
So after the 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk, I've added key lime juice, about 3/4 of a cup. If you can't find key lime juice, a regular Persian lime juice would work the same. It does make it a little more tart, but it will work.
And then you combine those, whisk them together before you add other ingredients.
I mix them together just because I like to gently combine my ingredients instead of mixing. So then to my mixture, I'm going to add 4 egg yolks.
All right, thank you.
3/4 cup to a full cup of whole milk Greek yogurt.
I love Greek yogurt. This makes this pie so creamy, and everybody that has it understated that it is the best key lime pie that they have ever had, and I literally could eat the whole pie.
It's so good I could kiss myself. So I'm gently folding my egg yolks into my sweetened condensed milk mixture. And then I will finish with about 2 tablespoons of zested lime.
And then when we put the pie back in, what temperature do you put it on?
We'll keep it at the 350 degrees for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
You want the center to be a little bit jiggly, just set. So you don't want it completely hardened.
What will make it crack is if you do overcook it. So
Correct,
that's why you want the jiggle in there.
Correct. And then you'll allow it to cool to room temperature, and then put it to the refrigerator.
Sure. It's so good. I can't wait to try this.
I
wish y'all were here to try it.
Dessert is my favorite.
Oh my gosh, I love dessert.
All right, my lime zest. Just into incorporated. And then we'll add it back to our pie shell and back into the oven.
Here, let me get this up here for you. Once you finish mixing, there you go.
Sharon.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, it looks so good already.
I know. I always used to lick the bowl when I was a kid. My mom used to give me the spoon, and me and my sister would fight over it. I mean, like fight.
Yeah.
And be mad at each other. Like, and then I'd be like, well, I'm mom's favorite. And she would always give me the spoon to lick. There we go.
All right.
Do I get to lick the bowl here?
Yes, you can lick the bowl.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. We'll see you in a few.
Hi, welcome back. We're getting ready to start our appetizer for the meal of the day. My name is Chef Sharon, and this is...
I'm Chef Cassandra, and I'm gonna be acting as Sharon's sous chef for this dish.
So what we're gonna do is a southern cornbread crab cake. We live in Florida. Crab cakes are all over the place, and everywhere you go, they make them differently. And I really wanted to create something that had a lot of flavor and stayed combined and didn't fall apart. So this is my recipe for that, and we're gonna get ready to show you how to do that. First, we're gonna use lump crab meat, about 8 ounces. And while I'm starting to put everything in here, Cassandra is gonna break down our cornbread. All right, so we're using Marsh hen mill cornmeal to make our cornbread. What I do is I use their recipe to make the cornmeal because it just turns out perfect. It's a great texture. It breaks up nice in order to make the breadcrumby mixture that we need to combine the crab cake. And I also add just about a teaspoon or two of brown sugar to make it a little sweet. Okay. So if you want to break up about half of this for me into here, I'm going to go ahead and start building the crab cake over here. So we have our lump crab meat, again about 8 ounces, and then we are going to put in parsley.
So in your cornbread, Sharon, does it matter if you use yellow or white?
I like a yellow cornbread, yes, because I want it to be more southern. I want it to feel down home. Parsley, about 2 teaspoons, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 cup of sour cream, teaspoon of Dijon mustard.
This smells so good.
My spoon. Look, let me get another spoon.
Here, let me help you with this.
Okay. All right.
Always helping you, Sharon.
I know. You got my back. All right. So we got Dijon mustard, about a teaspoon of garlic. And you could always at home give or take a little or more, just depending on the flavor amount that you like. And then a teaspoon of Old Bay, about 2 teaspoons of red onion, about a 1/4 cup of red peppers.
All right, is this good, Sharon, this texture?
Yes, so over here, see the texture of the cornbread, how it's all broken down?
So you want it kind of gritty almost?
Almost gritty, yeah.
Okay.
Because once we add the egg and with the other wet ingredients in the crab cake, it's gonna moisture and it's gonna get all nice and combined.
Okay, I'm gonna add to your pan some butter.
2 tablespoons of lime juice. 2 tablespoons of cilantro, a little bit of olive oil, and we're gonna put our pan, cast iron pan with a little bit of olive oil and about a tablespoon of butter to give it flavor and a good golden crust. Heat it up so it's nice and hot when the crab cake goes in.
Okay, do you want this on like medium?
Medium high.
Okay.
I want it to sear when it gets on there. All right, and this is our cornbread, and this is our mixture. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it in here until I think probably about 2 cups. And I'm gonna start to mix it.
And then you'll add your egg in after you incorporate those ingredients?
Yes, I like to get all of this done and get it nice and wet and good mixture, and then add the eggs in.
Okay, great.
All right. So Cassandra, why do you like this crab cake? Because I think I was the one that had you try it. And
yeah, so Sharon was the first one that had me try a Southern style cornbread crab cake. So I love cornbread. So when Sharon told me to try this cornbread crab cake, I was all on board. I prefer it more than the traditional breadcrumb.
So you know what I think is crazy about us is that we're both northern girls that live in the South and love Southern food. It just really resonates with us about home and family. All right, so now it's all really well mixed. You can see that it's well mixed here. I'm gonna go ahead and add the egg. I have 1 full egg and then about 3 egg whites, and I'm gonna get the egg yolk in here and then add the egg white as I need it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we're just mixing this.
Do you want it mixed well?
I want it mixed really well, and I want it to be like wet. So that way when it gets in there, it's gonna cook, and it's gonna dry, and it's gonna stick together. All right, I think we're just about there.
Smells so good already.
I know, can you smell that?
Yeah, all those aromatics.
Right, it's so flavorful. All right.
I love that addition of the
And I like to make my crab cakes about the size of my palm.
Okay.
So I just go ahead and get in here. You're gonna flip these for me?
Yes, I will.
I do a little bit around. Is the pan hot enough?
Your pan is ready.
All right. First one going down.
So good.
Yeah, I love these. All right, we're gonna finish cooking these and come right back. Welcome back. We have just finished up doing our crab cakes. We have plated them, and Cassandra's gonna go ahead and garnish them for us.
So I've got some fresh lime here, some fresh parsley.
And then also, one of the things that we serve this with is a Louisiana remoulade sauce, some mustard, mayonnaise, lime juice, a little bit of Worcestershire, and Old Bay.
Does it matter what mustard you use?
It really depends on flavor. We usually use a stone ground or like a brown mustard, Dijon. Yeah. Give it a nice flavorful, like little bite to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that depth of flavor in the mustard.
All right. And these are our crab cakes for any great starter to your meal when you're having friends and family over. And we'll be right back.
Welcome back. For our entree, we are going to be making a shrimp and grits.
One of my favorites.
Mine too. So I took a trip to New Orleans and tried shrimp and grits for the first time and fell in love. So anytime I travel anywhere, that's my go-to entree to try, and I chose this because it's my family favorite. It's my little brother's favorite dish, and his birthday is in March, so this dish is in honor of him. And so Sharon will be doing the grits portion of it, and she's going to be using another great product by Marsh Hen Mill. She's going to be using their white grits.
And I'm going to tell you a funny story about grits while you're mixing your butter compound. So I grew up in Jersey, and at 21, I moved to the South. It's the first time I ever had grits. Fell in love.
Really?
I love grits. I love them on everything. Like I eat them all the time. I love yellow grits, white grits, any way they I love grits. So another thing about grits is I moved over to the Bahamas for about a year and a half, and they have yellow grits over there, and they eat it with tuna.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
So like, grits are so versatile, it can go with a lot of different stuff. But shrimp and grits is personally one of my favorites.
Yeah, the first time I ever had grits was when I moved to Florida as well.
What are you putting in your butter?
The start of the shrimp and grits recipe is a compound butter. So we have a couple sticks of butter. I prefer to use a salted butter. And in that, I've added some finely diced red onion, some Worcestershire sauce, some Tabasco, some cayenne pepper, some smoked paprika. I would use about a teaspoon on the spices, and my Tabasco and my Worcestershire. I use about a tablespoon. Then I'm also going to add some fresh minced garlic. I do like a very generous amount with the garlic because I love garlic.
The more garlic, the better.
And then just a couple pinches of salt and pepper to taste. And then I will be mixing this all together, and this will go into the refrigerator or the freezer to get it cold.
So should it be solid when you go to use it, or how long should you keep it in there?
It just varies just until it is cold. It doesn't have to be completely solid, but you definitely want it to be cold for the sauce.
So this is a very butter forward dish. You really get to indulge.
Nice and rich with lots of those Louisiana flavors. And I love Louisiana flavors. My paternal great-grandmother was from New Orleans.
I am actually going to New Orleans the end of April, and I'm really excited to go down there because I've never actually had shrimp and grits from New Orleans. I've always cooked it. I've had it in Florida. I've actually had it in the Bahamas, a lot of different places, but never from Louisiana. So I'm excited to go there and try it. That's one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing while I'm there.
Okay, now that I have all my ingredients mixed in my butter, I'm gonna put it into the refrigerator until it's cold while we work on Sharon's grits, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. We are now going to get ready to do the grits portion of the shrimp and grits dish. And here we go. You're going to take that from me. Our water is just about hot. We're going to use those Marsh Hen Mill grits for this dish. And you're going to put your pot of water on the stove and get it to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to add in your butter.
Does it matter if you use salted or unsalted?
I like a salted butter because that always gives the grits a little bit more flavor, and I like to get the butter melted in the water evenly before I start adding my grits. And then I'm gonna also salt a little bit, just a pinch, because you already have salt in the butter. Get that water salted.
So now when you make the grits, why do you use water instead of like a broth or a stock? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. We've done it different ways. We've taken the shrimp shells and made a stock. We've used a vegetable stock. It just adds more flavor. And for this dish, I don't want to take away from the flavor of the shrimps that go over it. So I'm not going to add a flavor to the stock. I'm just going to use water. But we are going to finish with a cream and make it nice and creamy.
Oh, sounds good.
So when I do my grits, sometimes they can get clumpy. I like to slowly add them and keep stirring until I get the thickness that I like. And I get my water going in a circle, and then I start to just put my grits in. So what do you like about grits, Cassandra?
I actually had grits for the first time when I moved to Florida. So I moved to Florida in 2008. I'm originally from Southwest Michigan. So it wasn't a popular thing up there, and I really love this product by Marsh Hen Mill. It just has more texture with the grits compared to some of the instant grits. I really like the bitiness of this, I guess you could say.
So funny. I love the smell when the grits and the butter start to cook. I even love the smell of grits. I can eat grits every day.
Yeah, I like mine savory though. I don't like sweet grits.
I like sweet grits.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it just depends. It's one of those foods that takes on the flavor that you're cooking it with.
Oh, definitely.
So it just depends on what you're eating with it. All right.
I'm so excited.
So I'm going to go ahead. This is going good. So I'm going to get the rest of these grits in here and get it nice, and so it gets nice and thick. That should be a perfect amount. So we just have to wait a few minutes for the grits to get thick, and then we're going to add an aged white cheddar.
Do you do the cheddar while you're still on heat, or
I do? Okay. I do, because what I want the cheddar to do is melt, and then it's going to get a little bit thicker. Okay. So that's when we add our cream and we get the perfect texture.
Okay, great.
All right, so we're going to turn this down just a little bit here. It does smell good already. Once the grits come to a boil, you're going to turn it down just a little bit because you don't want it to be too bubbly or burn on the bottom of the pan. And you should always keep your grits moving.
Yes.
So they don't stick to the bottom. Yep.
Yeah, I'll have to try the wooden spoon. I usually use a whisk, so.
Yeah, I like the wooden. I always like using a spoon. All right. All right, we're going to take a break. All right, we're back now, and we're going to add our last bit to the grits to get them finished, and they are nice and creamy and smooth. Would you add the cheese as I stir? Like Absolutely. I said, you need to keep stirring.
Again, this is an aged white cheddar.
Aged white cheddar. And it has a little bit of like a smoky flavor? No?
Yeah, there's a depth to the
cheese, flavor, which goes well with the shrimp and grits. All right. And then once all of that is melted, we are going to add some cream. So you're going to keep stirring this until the cheese is melted. Then you're going to add some cream to just give it a nice creamy texture. I think that's good.
Okay, great.
All right. And then once Once you spill it outside the pot.
Just go ahead and put that anywhere, Sharon.
Yeah, you know, that happens when you cook. I'm the messy Marvin in the kitchen, and Cassandra is spotless. All right, so you just want to get it to a nice little boil again to make sure all of that is combined and done, and then we're finished. And you'll have your finished grits staying on the oven warm while you cook your shrimp. So that's what we're going to get ready to do now, and we'll be right back to show you how that's done.
All right, welcome back. We're going to start our sauce for our shrimp and grits. In my pan, I am browning some bacon. I don't want it completely cooked, don't want it completely crispy, just going to get it just right before. So we're almost perfect here. And I'm just going to take a slotted spoon and transfer it to a dish. And then this will be the same pan that I use to cook my shrimp.
How can you go wrong with bacon and shrimp and butter?
Yes. So another variation of this dish that I use, I like using like an andouille sausage or a tasso ham, something for a little bit extra spice and kick, because I like spicy.
I like spicy girl too.
I'm a spicy girl.
Spicier the better. All right.
So, oh my goodness, this bacon smells so good.
It does really smell
I like
good.
to use a thick cut smoked bacon for this, but any bacon would work.
And what size shrimp are you using?
I'm using an extra large shrimp, 1520. But you could use just a regular large shrimp. Just put enough in your pan to you don't want to overcrowd your pan. Give them enough room to start to cook. And then when they start to get opaque, then we'll flip them. So about a minute to 2 minutes per side.
Okay.
You don't want to completely cook the shrimp yet. They will finish cooking in our sauce, which finishes in that delicious compound butter that we started with.
Okay, so you can cook all your shrimp in stages and then
Correct. Yeah,
take them to the side.
Transfer them. Yep.
All right. All right. All right. So how did you learn how to make shrimp and grits?
So like I said, when I took my first trip to New Orleans, I tried shrimp and grits there and instantly fell in love with it. So it's my go-to dish no matter where. Yeah. Like I order it everywhere. But then I just wanted to perfect it. So I just started
trying it out.
Trying different ways. And I guess my Creole roots just come through, and I have gotten a dish that my family loves, especially my little brother. Happy birthday, Marky. And so I'm making this dish for him.
All right.
All right, so these ones are just about done. So I'm gonna take these ones out of the pan, transfer them to a plate, and then I'll start my next batch. Want to hold that for me, please?
Yeah,
Sharon?
sure. There you go. You want them to be like a really nice light and pink and firm when you're cooking them.
Yes, you definitely don't want to overcook your shrimp.
There you go. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Once the shrimp is finished cooking, we'll be right back to show you the rest. Welcome back. Finished cooking the shrimp, and we're going to get ready to start the second part of making our grits.
So I'm just taking the shrimp off that I have cooked on a medium-high heat, transferring my shrimp to a plate, and I will finish my sauce in here. So into my pan, I'm going to add about half a cup to 1 cup of dry wine. I personally prefer a Sauvignon Blanc, but a Chardonnay, anything would work here.
So why do we do that? And I see you're using the same pan. Why do you use the same pan?
So I use the same pan because it adds depth of flavor. So using the same pan, it has that bacon in it, that shrimp, so it just keeps adding levels and levels of flavor. And as this wine is reducing down, I'm scraping the bottom, getting all those yummy bits, bacon and
So you're getting the
shrimp
goodness
there.
off the bottom.
Oh yes, absolutely. So this is just about
Ready?
ready. So you want it to reduce down, not quite to half, just to get that little bit of alcohol out of there.
Off of the alcohol. Get the
Yes.
alcohol off of the alcohol. All right. And so
All right,
which
and
one do
then
you use next?
from here, I'm going to turn my heat off. Let this cool just a little bit, and then I will slowly incorporate my compound butter into that. And you want that really cold, otherwise your sauce will start to break, which is never good. So,
All right. So you're going to add the butter.
yes, I am. So my pan is just about perfect. It's still warm, but it's not hot. And just slowly add this butter in until we have just a rich,
That smells
velvety
so
sauce.
good. I can't wait
I
to
know,
eat
it
it.
smells so good. I am so hungry. And then after we've incorporated this delicious compound butter, then we'll add our shrimp and our bacon back into the sauce. And then that shrimp will just cook the last little bit in the sauce. All right, we'll be back and show you how to finish it. All right, welcome back. So our butter is just about completely melted. So we're gonna add that shrimp back into this sauce.
So now the shrimp will just finish cooking in this sauce.
Yes, so that's why you don't cook the shrimp to completion to start, because otherwise you would overcook them. So they're just going to finish here. If you feel your sauce has cooled too much, you can just turn it back on low heat for just a minute or so. But again, you don't want that butter to melt too much or it will not be the same.
All right.
All right. The shrimp is perfect. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going
all.
to add this bacon back in.
All right. And I'll take that for you.
Perfect, because everything is better with bacon. All right.
And then when you're getting ready to add your aromatics now, correct?
Correct. So once this is all incorporated, then just a couple pinches salt and pepper to taste. I did add it to the compound butter when I was making it, but this just enhances the flavor.
That's awesome. It looks so good, Cassandra.
It smells delicious.
I can't wait to eat. She's been starving me today.
Yes, I always starve you, Sharon. Can't you tell? And then to finish, I'm just going to add some fresh parsley and fresh cilantro, along with some fresh thyme. You could use dry herbs in this if you didn't have fresh, but I prefer to use the fresh ingredients.
Right.
So we'll be back in a minute to complete the dish.
All right, shrimp is finished. We're gonna get ready to plate the shrimp and grits and show you how it will look great on your dinner with all your family and friends. Okay. So I'm gonna do the grits down in a bowl that has a little bit of a dip to it and wider at the top.
Can fit more in it.
Yeah, I know, right? And then just put your grits into the bottom of the bowl, and then I'm gonna hold it for Cassandra.
All right, get some of that delicious
Sauce. Oh, I can't wait to taste that. And put your shrimp,
so good.
Shrimp on top.
Perfect.
All right,
A couple more.
shrimp.
There you go.
And then we're gonna come over here. I want to,
garnish with some extra fresh parsley and cilantro. And there you have it. Shrimp and
there you
grits.
go, shrimp and grits. Enjoy, and we'll be back.
All right, welcome back. Sharon's getting our key lime pie from the refrigerator. Chill
so
it,
good.
45 minutes, 2 hours, perfect set key
When do we
lime
cut
pie.
this?
Right now. So you could garnish this with some stabilized whipped cream. You can add some more lime zest if you like. I personally, and along with my boys, love it just as is.
That's the way I love it. It's so good.
I am so excited for this.
Can't wait to dig in. Oh my goodness, it's delicious. And how many does this serve? About 8?
8 very generous portions. If you had a larger family, you could always do a smaller slice.
Here we go.
So, our perfect
key lime pie.
Key lime pie. Nice and rich and creamy.
There you go.
There you go.
And
Enjoy.
we'll be back.
We'll be back.
All right, we have your Sunday supper ready for you, and you can find us at CashaFineFoods.com. It is CASHA FineFoods.com, and we have your Southern cornbread crab cake.
You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. We have our shrimp and grits, featuring those Marsh Hen Mill white grits, and our key lime pie.
Good evening and have a lovely Sunday.